minutes late. We do try. There's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts to stop everything and do the live show, but we do it because we're dedicated and we're committed and we got discipline. All right, you guys ready? Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Stacy will be here in a second, y'all. Thanks for all the love and support on the last couple of videos. Some rough business. All right. We're gonna wait for everyone to show up, and even Stacy. We're gonna get after it. Oh man, it is so hot. But good news, it's gonna break for the end of the week because we have the Homesteading Life Conference coming up at the end of this week, Sunday, Monday, and it's supposed to get into the 80s and 60s at night for all y'all camping. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way in. It's like giving me a hug. All right.
AG1 gives you
Oh,
high quality
either I even turned it down and it didn't work. 3, 2, 1. One way you beat that heat is you got to stay hydrated, y'all. Got to stay hydrated. All right. Let's see if we can't get this to work. Yeah, we didn't blow away. We barely got an inch of rain out of that big mess. That's no good either. Gary and them are down. They're about an hour and a half south. And they got 2 inches, he said. That whole storm started here. I showed y'all. And it moved all the way across the country into the East Coast. Actually smacked DC around a little bit too. So it was a pretty good little storm we had. Brought in cooler temperatures for a little bit. The humidity is still a little crispy.
Yes, it is.
We're going to talk about how we survive living in the heat off grid. Answer some of your questions. And
talk about lots of other things too.
Yeah, whatever flips your boat. Wind in Tennessee, Riles County, Highway F, they got a 1/2 inch.
Oh, Jeanette made her first batch of sauerkraut. That's my favorite. I make lots of it.
Portable AC, AC's for wimps. It makes you weak. We do not want to have the AC. If it gets really hot though, we'll go for a ride in the car, maybe go to the store, spend some extra time in the store or something, but for the most part, man, we tough it out and we sweat it out. We like to sweat it out. We do kind of cheat a little bit now that we have the RV, and Stacy's working on her book because we're really trying hard to get the books finished, like right now. So
yes, we are.
So yeah, we need to make a beat on those next.
Oh, Marcia, she says it cooled down enough for them to take care of 37 Cornish crosses. Yeah, it's not fun to do that when it's hot out. You guys want to wait.
Yeah, you want to try to raise your stuff early spring and then late, in the summer, like in the fall. It's not, for us for sure, right where we live. We don't butcher in the summer like this. Too much bugs and flies. You have to rush too much too. You don't have any extra time for, error or setting around. Because with these kind of temperatures, everything's so hot, things can go bad on you. So the Amish, us, or nothing, we don't really do any butchering this time of year. Unless you have a facility, Amish are over there doing facility butchering, but no backyard butchering. 84 degrees, 1,000 feet up in Lincoln County, Kentucky. I'm going to try your cherry tomatoes. Fermenting tomorrow morning and got lots of cherry tomatoes.
Oh, Deborah says, I got my sun oven Friday. How do you deal with the sun reflected in your eyes when using it?
Put on some sunglasses.
Yeah, but it just depends. You can go to a different angle when you're
you're there for like a hot second.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. Yeah, and don't use your hands because it's hot. Use when you take it out. Yeah, it's hot.
But when you turn it, you don't have to have no mitts on or nothing. Fermented foods do not need to be refrigerated. They'll last 6 months to a year easy. I mean, this stuff's ancient Egyptian, old school stuff.
And then a lot of things like sauerkrauts can last longer than a year. You can do my salsas and like tomato sauces. They'll last a long time. They might just get a little bit more tart, but they taste good. And honestly, when we were in Oklahoma and we did the Okie Homesteading Expo, I brought a bunch of old ferments. I actually brought a lot of my salsas and some tomato sauces, and we were just drinking them, and it kind of turned into like a V8. It was actually very good. Everyone just loved them. So if it's too tart for you, you could use it for something else or add it to a dressing for salads or something like that. So will last a long time. I have found my tomato products really do last a very, very long time, and they taste great.
You just need a cool, dark spot. But if you have a refrigerator to dedicate for ferments, or if you want to put them in your refrigerator, go ahead. And that will help them last a little bit longer. But it's not really necessary. That's how we live off grid, is we ferment our food, and then it's live food when we eat it.
The pigs.
I don't know nothing about that.
Okay.
And that's not here anyways. That's the group.
Okay. Oh, so Mindy says, tonight we had Stacy's fermented pasta sauce. It was awesome.
And you guys, somebody was asking about salad dressing. You guys should not be buying salad dressing. She's going to tell you why. But we have a great video about making salad dressing. And everyone that comes to our house and eats our food always talks about Stacy's salad. Go.
If you want to do one good thing from your health and you don't want to do anything else, you don't want to exercise, or you don't want to change some stuff, don't buy store-bought salad dressings, because they're terrible. They use a lot of rancid type oils, especially canola oil, soybean oils. A lot of these oils that are not good, as we call seed oils, that are wreaking havoc and causing inflammation in our bodies. So probably best thing you guys can do, and they taste amazing. They'll make your salad just rock. It's just so wonderful, is just to make your own salad dressing. And in my cookbook, I have a ton of different dressings, like tons and tons of dressings. But a basic one that I just use all the time, it's just 2 parts extra virgin olive oil, 1 part raw apple cider vinegar, and 1 part either raw honey or maple syrup. It'll kind of just change the taste of the salad, and it tastes amazing. If you want to add some herbs to it, you can add herbs to it, turn it into like a sweet Italian. I mean, you could do so much to it. So just, if you did something like that, just in a mason jar, just shake it up, and then you have a salad dressing that could, last you a few salads, and then just make another one. Or if you're lazy and you don't want to make it pre-made, for me, a lot of the times I'll just put a little shot of olive oil on it, a little shot of apple cider vinegar, and then a little shot of maple syrup or honey, and then I'll blend it all up after I've mixed everything together. And the big thing when you're making a salad, because I do make really good salads, is I put everything but the kitchen sink in them so they taste good. You might shred a bunch of carrots, or you might shred up some broccoli, or you'll have, like, I love pomegranates, you put pomegranate seeds on it when they're in season, or you guys can put, if you want to do, whatever you have, like blackberries are good now, blueberries were good, you could put those in there. You can put some nuts in there if you had macadamia nuts, or you have some pecans, you could do that. You could go ahead and put your, if you want to do tomatoes and your cucumbers, whatever's in season, your peppers, if you have some cheese. Like in our conference coming up this next weekend, it's almost here, the Homesteading Life Conference, we're going to have how to make mozzarella cheese. You can put mozzarella cheese in there. So you just kind of blend it all up with that yummy salad dressing, and it tastes amazing, and it's so good. And the funny thing is this dressing is so good. I mean, kids like it. They'll even eat salad because it's just good. Because anything with honey or maple syrup makes it better, right? So
I thought
try
cheddar
to do
makes
that.
it better.
No, I always say butter makes it better.
No, ghee makes it better.
Ghee does too, yeah. Oh, let's talk about ghee really quick.
Yeah, because that's great.
Wait.
You guys if you're living off grid with no electricity, butter's out and ghee's in. Super shelf stable. We did videos about it. Yeah.
So it's very liquidy. So this ghee here, I'm going to tell you guys something. So it doesn't have to be like perfect rocket science. Like when I make ghee, in my recipes, I say 250 degrees for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. I mean, if it go over, it's no big deal. It'll still work. Sometimes, like when I make ghee, if I do it in my oven, or maybe if I do it out in the sun oven, or maybe it got right in the heat and it got way above 250 degrees, it might get a little brown or even burn on the top. It's not going to ruin your ghee. It will give it more of like a more nuttier flavor, I guess you could say. And when I was growing up, my grandmother, you know, I'm Armenian, and so she used to make a lot of like breads with lots of ghee or clarified butter. And what she would do is she would kind of burn it a little bit. So this one here that I have, I purposely let it go a little higher temperature, and then it gets a little bit, like on the top here I put baking ghee, because that really makes good breads or pastries and things like that. Or it just gives it a little bit different flavor. So if you guys wanted a little different flavor to your ghee, you can do that too. So that's what I call it. I call it baking ghee.
And it's 100 shelf stable, all temperatures, y'all. You cannot, and it's so good for you, and it has a high heat tolerance. Did you talk about that?
No.
When you cook, it doesn't smoke and burn and all that stuff, so that's why you like it.
It doesn't smoke. So yeah, I always say when I make this, I mean, I just love it. It's a pure butter oil. So when you do put it in the oven, it separates the milk solids, the casein and the lactose drop to the bottom. So if you're lactose intolerant, it's going to separate that. You're going to get the pure butter oil. So people that are intolerant like that, most people can tolerate this, but you obviously have to check and see how you react to it. And it's just wonderful because it has a very high smoke point, like 495 degrees. So when you're making eggs, nothing drives me more crazy than having my butter burn because I'm going doing something else and I come back, my butter's burning. Then it makes your eggs get all brown looking, or if you're making pancakes or you're doing something, this will not do that. I mean, I leave it on there and forget about it, and it'll all be coming back. It'll be boiling hot, but it still looks, you know, very clear.
I just put the video on there on how to make ghee, right? So if you guys ever want to know anything about your life, how to make ghee, off-grid Doug. How to plant sweet potatoes, off-grid Doug. Anything you want to know, if you type in the main thing and then put off-grid Doug, it's going to pop up on YouTube and you'll be able to learn from it. And the other person asked, how long does it last? Forever.
Not forever. That would be honey, but it'll last. It's shelf stable. Forever. You don't have to can it. You don't have to do anything. It won't last forever.
You're gonna use it, but it's gonna last long time.
Yeah, a couple years.
Long
Yeah,
time. You don't do nothing to it. Long time.
So, and then I use it for my skin. I mean, I love it. I give it to the dog. You can give it to your cats to help with hairballs. It's just great. So, I can't say enough about ghee. I make so much of it, it's just nuts.
No, Crisco is not good to use.
Oh, no, that's fake. That is totally fake.
That's like fake. The worst you could use.
Yeah, you don't want to use that.
Lard is good if you got real lard.
Margarine and Crisco are fake, so you don't want to put any fake in you. No, you don't want to put fake in you. Yeah, we want real stuff, real food.
You can put your ghee in the fridge if you want to.
Yeah, it'll just get harder. But the one thing with ghee, even if you do put it in the refrigerator, it's going to be more spreadable when you spread it compared to like butter. You know how butter will get really hard? The ghee will still stay a little softer. So yeah, you can put it in the refrigerator.
So there, I dropped a couple links to the video for you to watch. And I'm dropping the store link if you guys want to get Stacy's cookbook or the fermenting book or any of the tea that we have at the Missouri Tea Company, because that's our company that we sell this stuff with. In case you get your invoice or something, you're like, what's this place?
Oh, Teresa Catherine she says, Doug, I made my first raised bed garden with your tips. Excellent. Yep.
And y'all, it's the end of summer. You know, I mean, we're getting into the nitty gritty. Everything's winding down. We tap it out on our garden pretty much. And, but for fall gardening is really good. You can grow a lot of food in the fall garden. So don't forget that. I use olive oil, butter, and coconut oil. Olive oil, I probably would dump if it's getting hot.
So this is what I do with the olive oil, because extra virgin olive oil is amazing. I don't like to use it when I heat it up. The thing is you can get the extra virgin olive oil and you leave it out at room temperature. It will do better in the refrigerator. It will last longer. However, if it's real extra virgin olive oil, it's going to get hard. So you'll know pretty much that it is, you know, real. If it doesn't get hard in the refrigerator, you know they've mixed it with something else, maybe like soybean oil or some other type of oil like that. And so what I do is I'll put it in the refrigerator and then I'll take it out and just let it set a little bit. I'll shake it up and then I'll use it. It's a little inconvenient, but you know you're not causing your extra virgin olive oil to get rancid and will last longer.
And everything you ferment, y'all, is raw. That's the beauty of it. It's keeping your food alive. When you cook your food, you kill it, right? At certain points, like canning, when you get to that temperature, all the good enzymes die off. Everything is raw with fermenting.
Oh, Nancy wants to know, are we going to do a live show next week? No.
No live show next week because
We'll be on the riverboat.
at the Homesteading Live Conference. I might do a live show from the riverboat.
I bet we will, yeah.
I might do an impromptu live show.
We did last year.
I might try that.
Yeah, we'll do that. You'll see somebody.
Just because I love you guys.
That's right when we're on the boat.
You're like our little Sunday night thing we do.
Yeah, so you guys can come. Yeah, they can be on the riverboat.
Yeah, I did. I think I did it last year, didn't I? And I walked around and showed everybody.
Yeah.
You're just gonna get jealous. Oh yeah, I think I'll probably do a live show. There you go. I'll be late though, probably, because I think we're a half hour late this year on the boat. They have to move us up a half hour because they booked a tour right before us, so we're a half hour later on the cruise.
Oh, we are?
I wasn't gonna tell you because you're always late, so I figured if I didn't tell you, we'd be on time. Okay.
No.
You got a little sparkle on you. You've been like to the glitter store?
No, I don't know. I'm sweating yet.
Yeah, because it's 100 degrees out here.
Do you guys want to hear the good news?
What's the good news? Oh, you can probably hear it.
So yesterday, we're right over here in my mint patch, because I was supposed to trim them down already because they got so crazy. I had a mama guinea in there sitting on a ton of eggs. And then daddy guinea always stays right by her side no matter what. And all of a sudden, I saw some things moving around yesterday, and I looked, and there's all these guineas. And so I was so excited. So she's in there, and then I see her jumping out, and then the little babies are jumping out. And
they sound so crazy.
And then I saw one of the white guineas, because I had a pair of white guineas that were sitting over in my comfrey. And they were sitting on eggs like a month. And I think they decided to give up before they hatched because there was little chicks in the eggs, and I wish they would have waited a little longer, but they gave up and they left. So then this mama had her babies, and she has, I call it her husband. Her husband was with her, because one thing that's cool about guineas, the male guineas are generally much better parents than the mom guineas, because the mom guineas go all over and the babies run around like they don't know what's going on, and they end up getting eaten by something. The dads generally will take care of the babies a lot better than the females do. So all of a sudden, I see the mama guinea with the father, and they're all, all excited with their new little family. And here comes the white guinea, the white male guinea.
Male guinea, yeah.
And he starts fighting her husband.
Welcome to the jungle.
And I'm like, what's going on? And I kept noticing, and they're fighting, and I think he wanted those babies.
For you too, and
right.
babies.
He wanted the babies too. He wanted to be a dad.
So they have two dads now.
So they fought and they fought and they fought. And
well, there's like 13 or 15 of them or something.
Well, I didn't tell that yet. Oh. So then all of a sudden, it turns out that the white guinea became the main dad. Yeah. And then the other dad is now the second in command. So then the mom gets out this morning. I was looking around at them, and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 20 little guineas. 2 of them are white. The rest of them are the pearl color, the black and white ones. And there's 2 dads. And then she decides to take them out in the middle of the yard with the cats and everything. And I'm freaking out, so I've been kind of watching them. So you can hear these little chirpies around. Those are the baby guineas. So far, so good. I have to keep you updated. That's
our largest natural hatch of guineas on the homestead so far.
Because usually what happens is they have quite a few, and then by the end, the ones that mature, you maybe get. Like last year, there might have been 12. I ended up having 4.
Not from one. There was a couple hatches. Not from one.
But that one mama.
That was the most from everyone.
Well, the mama had 10 or 12, and she ended up with 4.
Yeah.
So that was last year. So we'll see how many we have left. So that's my excitement, because I love guineas. So now you guys get to share in my excitement. Can you hear them all? Art for God wants to know how to grow sunflowers. You just throw the seeds down and they'll grow. Sunflowers are one of my favorite.
Super resilient.
I have sunflowers everywhere. I love them more than anything.
Too much
sunflowers. No, they're not. They reseed themselves if you just leave them somewhere. They're great food to leave a lot up for the winter time and fall for the birds. You could go ahead for the bigger heads. You could dry them out, make sunflower seeds. The leaves are amazing. You can use them for wraps. You can put meat in there like a dolma. You could saute them, very, very healthy. Out of the stalks, you can cut them open. You have to take the outer part of it, and you can dry that out, and you can turn that into a flour, make sunflower flour. The roots itself are amazing because they help to pull up toxins from the ground and drop toxins. They also will grow anywhere. I mean, you could throw them in the rocks and they'll pop up.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
they're
crazy.
prolific.
They are so easy to grow.
They're like growing herbs, like spearmint or something.
And they're definitely something you don't want to put the sunflowers in with your actual plants. Like you could put it next to it or down in the ground or
not too close
because
they'll drip those seeds in there too, and you'll have seeds.
So, everywhere. And I don't mind them. I mean, I just love them to death. But sunflowers are definitely easy to grow. You just put the seeds down, put a little dirt over them. Sometimes what I do, I'll get like 50-pound bags because I mix them and I make homemade chicken feed. So I put it in my chicken feed. So I'll just get them in areas that I want to look pretty, and I'll just throw them out, and then they'll grow. So.
Y'all, the best way for learning any of this stuff is learning by doing. I mean, we got on this property crash coursing. We were city rats. And when we got here, we had to learn all this stuff every day, every hour, every year, asking questions, learning from mentors, reading books, seeking out information. The scriptures say, seek and you shall find. And then we retain the information because we're doing it over and over and over. So it's like a muscle. It's like the law of use. If you do not use it, you will lose it. And that's in anything in your life. And that's why the scripture talks about it, and that's why the guy got in trouble with the talons.
Oh, Carrie had 1 year and 6 months, no coffee or caffeine today. All right, that's good. And then Deborah, that's a good question. Deborah has a good question. She said, fermenting, when starting a ferment in 100 plus degrees, will it have more power? Yeah, because it always, needless to say, it always happens. Everything starts to, come out when it's really hot here. Sure. And I'm like, because you'll get a better tasting ferment, I think, when you have lower temperatures. It will ferment a little quicker. Sometimes it will affect the flavor. Like I did a bunch of beets because I had kept quite a few of my beets. I already did stuff earlier, and then I did some more beets later. I had put them in the refrigerator, and they were fermenting, and they taste okay. They fermented a little quicker, but the color changed a little bit. They got more brown. They're not as pretty, that pretty red color as much. And sometimes the flavor, it just kind of affects the flavor a little bit. Sometimes it won't. One thing that I will tell you, like here. You
have to watch it a little bit because it can ferment kind of fast, and then your top can go, or you might have to burp it a little bit more. Here's some of our juicy juice.
So made. I just said it's not juice. It's I made a bunch of. I made some salsa.
I know what it is.
So I did this last night, and I just before we turn on here, they fermented quickly. So like from last night to today, it's been pretty hot. It popped. So maybe on a 100-degree day, you might only need 1 full day to let this ferment. Because usually with my salsa, I'll go 2 to 3 days. But on a really hot day, you could just go ahead and go a day and a half, and then maybe put it into cold storage.
You just taste it, see how it is.
Well, sure, you could taste it and see, because it might go, or if it's okay, then maybe go another day. And that's the thing; it's not going to hurt for you to open this up and look at it.
And some of the people were asking, like, so when we first lived here for, I don't know, 13 years or something, we didn't have a root cellar. So all of our stuff was just in the house in the cool, dark spots we could find. And then when it was 100 degrees, I mean, it was just kind of popping and we were just eating it. And then some stuff was in the crawl space. But now we built a root cellar. We have a great playlist on how to build like the best root cellar, because it's made out of ICF form, concrete forms, really a slick system. And it's been working out fantastic. Stays about 40, 45 degrees, a little cooler, a little warmer in there all year. So it's perfect.
Okay, Candy Cane says, does castor oil poultice work on old scars 15 to 20 years old, or must it be new? Yes, you can do old scars.
You ever heard of ice in the chocolate tea from us? Make an iced tea, chocolate.
I have wanted to try it. I want to try it, and I don't know how. It tastes so
good hot. I don't know how it'd be cold.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've tried to do it like with old tea.
Everybody pays property tax, even the Amish. There's no getting away from it. Unless we all get super involved, right? Like, what if we get super involved in our local politics, and like we start attacking like our state representatives and get rid of it? This is nonsense, man. Personal property tax and property tax is nonsense. And we need to band together and choke it out. Because that is definitely how they're going to take your property off. And I don't have any updates for you. But that is a big problem.
Okay, someone just said they wanted to know the Redmond salt recipe. So are you talking about the Soleil, I guess? Like the Soleil, we've been sweating so much. Probably every time I drink some water, I'll put a teaspoon in. So if you're going to make, it's a concentrated like salt water. So in a pint, I put 5 tablespoons of salt in a pint jar.
No, we never use coffee grounds in the chicken coop.
So in a pound jar, I put 5 tablespoons, fill it with filtered water, shake it, let it set overnight, and then it'll all soak it all up so it'll look clear, because it starts out looking a little pink, and then you'll just have a little sediment at the bottom.
Isn't that it? No, that's not it over there.
And then all you're going to do...
Yeah, it is. Isn't that solely right there?
No.
What is that?
Probably
like salt.
rinse that. No, it's not.
Oh.
And
I
then...
don't want to confuse them.
And then after you make that concentrated salt water, then you're going to go ahead and put a teaspoon in a glass of water and you can drink it. So like the first thing in the morning, Doug and I'll squirt half of an organic lemon in water with a teaspoon of the Soleil, and that's the first thing we do in the morning because it's a great detoxifier, and then the salt will help rehydrate you from your fast because you've been sleeping all night. And then, why are you shaking your head?
Because you cannot build a root cellar in Florida. There's no basements in Florida. Well, you could build one above ground and then pile dirt on top of it. You know what I mean? And yeah, of course we know Danny and Wanda. They're OG homestead homies, man. They've been watching our shows for, years. When I went down there, they didn't even know I was coming, and I drove all the way down to their house, and they had a big shindig down there. A bunch of us met up down there, and I surprised them all. And yeah, me and Danny, Wanda, we all go way back.
Someone just said, should I use 6 tablespoons of salt? You can use 6 tablespoons of salt. It just won't. At the very bottom, if you don't have any salt left at the bottom, that you probably need a little bit more. And then if you use too much, you'll just have a little extra salt. Or you can add more water. There's not like a perfect recipe for it.
And they're solid people. And I know mostly all the people you guys probably watch, I've had interactions with them, and I can vouch for some, and a lot of them I can't. But those are solid people.
Oh, Tanya just lacto-fermented blueberries today. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. So I just lacto-fermented a ton of blueberries because I got cases of blueberries. So lacto-fermented blueberries are just easy and wonderful. And all it is your blueberries in a jar. I should go get mine.
Get yours.
You want me to tell you how to make lacto-fermented blueberries? You guys can do it. It's so simple.
It's like one of our first fermenting videos you made.
Yeah, I did do it a long time ago. And this recipe that I did might be a little bit different than that one, but they taste amazing. I'll go get it, and then I'll tell you what you can do with it because you guys will all like it.
Now you can ask me boss man questions. I'll see you going. Zach Bauer, solid individual. Lives the life. There's some people out there, I'm telling you guys, like you watch these people on the YouTube and they're telling you maybe they live off grid and they're lying. You know what I'm telling you? Right now in my head, I can think of a handful of them that go to a place, make videos, say they're doing it, and they're lying to you right to your face. But Zach Bauer is 100%. And I know him from St. Louis. So there was a big group of us back in the day. It was like 2018 or something, 2017. And there was a big group of us in Missouri, like in St. Louis area, and we really started digging into scripture and stuff, It was kind of powerful stuff, man. And then we all dispersed kind of like Stacy and I came way up north, and Zach, he went with Pastor Joe Fox. And they started like a little thing, and then some other people left. They went to Costa Rica, and so we all started on our journey like after that. And then, of course, Zach left Pastor Joe Fox, and then now he's living down there doing his own thing. But yeah, so I know all these people, man. So much I know. But yeah, he's a good, solid individual. And he's actually speaking at our conference next weekend at the Homesteading Life Conference.
Okay, so here's some... I've already eaten some of these. See the blueberries? All right, you want to try one?
Can you ferment any berry, like blackberry?
Sure.
Yeah, any fruit.
But I'll have to say, if I had to pick,
veggie.
The blueberries are just really good because they keep their shape, and they're really good. Here, we'll try. You want to try one? Husband?
It's past my blueberry hours. I'm very particular on my food.
Here.
That's morning blueberries.
No, have one.
Ooh, if you like them tart.
So, what it is...
That enhances the beneficials. Like you eat food, not just to fill your gut, y'all. You actually eat food as medicine, and you eat food as, fuel for your body and stuff, right? This, when you ferment it, it actually creates better food for your body.
So basically, all you do is you rinse off your berries, and then I just filled it up. I mean, it's just so simple and easy. You filled it up, and then I went ahead and you only need, like a half a teaspoon of salt in your filtered water, and then I put a couple tablespoons of maple syrup in there also. So, and then what I did this time, you could use whey, which is like the clear liquid from the yogurt when you strain it through. You could use whey. I think in my video before I used whey. And this time what I decided to do is I used some flavored kombucha. So you just put, like, you could do water kefir, could use whey, you could use kombucha. So I did this with kombucha. So I went ahead and I put like 1/4 of a cup of kombucha in there, and they turned out really good. So that's what I did this time. So that's the thing, you can experiment and do lots of different things. So I like these because they're great if you put it on oatmeal, or if you just eat them by themselves, or pop them. I like to put them in salads. Like I infused, if you have like oranges, you could do like oranges and put in like, make into a vinegar. You can do like your flavored vinegars, and you can go ahead and put the blueberries in there, maybe put some nuts, and it's really good. So these are really good. So if you haven't tried them, and if you got my recipe, my fermenting book, I have that recipe for that in there too. So these are really good.
Yeah, we don't do Target. We don't do Target. We don't do Bud Light. We don't do Tractor Supply. We don't do anybody sporting drag queen story time. We don't do anybody targeting kids. We don't do anybody males dressing up in dresses. It's just not where we spend our money. You guys spend your money wherever you plan to, wherever you feel fit. But that's not how we roll. We cannot support that. And we got to do our best. We just do our best not to support that. And we're shifting a lot of our habits right now. Like, we barely even use the Walmart. But the Amish stores are coming online. We have Amish stores coming online. They had a big move, and they're finally getting their stuff together. And they're made bigger stores, and we're shopping 100% there.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, pulling away from those places. So Gardening Girl wants to know, how do you keep the ferments cool when it's 100 degrees outside with no AC? So my ferment, are you talking about when I ferment them and I let them set out, they're out in the hot temperature, and then I'll go ahead and either put some in the refrigerator, or I'll put them down in a root cellar. After
the 7 days or 2 days or 5 days,
like now with this, like you have to put something to kind of activate it, like a fruit, because it'll turn into alcohol. So if I just let this set out without me putting that kombucha in there, or the whey, because that'll help jumpstart it to get done quicker. So this is done in like 4 days. And it got warm here kind of quick. So, 3 or 4 days. Sometimes you might have to wait 5 days. But the fruit ferments will ferment much quicker than like the other ones.
Every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, no Amish stores are online. There's a fake one, Layman's, but they're, I wouldn't shop there either.
Oh, Amanda says his 6-year-old son Benjamin says hi.
Yeah, ferments in the basement are perfect.
Say hi.
Hi, Benjamin.
The basement needs to be cooler.
Well, sure. Most basements are, even by default.
Like the ones that I really have found that last a very good, your cauliflower will last pretty good when it's not like really, really cold. Your tomato sauces and your salsas do pretty good. Your sauerkraut does pretty good. Just you need to make sure that you go down and check your stuff, because sometimes you might have a little kind yeast, and if you see that on the top, that kind of white waxy stuff, wipe it and clean it off. Or sometimes the sauerkraut, the juices get all sucked up in there. You might need to add a little bit more liquid, some filtered water, and put some salt in there. Mix it in there and just pour it in there to make sure that you're keeping a little liquid in there.
Yeah, she saw the guineas right before that storm hit, so they got all wet and nasty last night, but they made it fine.
Oh, they're fine. All of them.
That's what builds resilience on those little animals.
They fit underneath her.
Yeah,
all of them, you look at her, it's crazy how those mama chickens and stuff, when you see them have these babies, you don't even know they're in there.
That's their jobs, man.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm telling y'all, you're probably spending way too much on homesteading, and you're coddling your animals way too much. I see these people with sweaters on their baby goats, and come on, y'all. And actually it messes them up. You're not giving them time to do their acclimations, and some of these people are taking the babies. It's like going to the hospital now. Like, they take the baby away from the mama right off the bat, and they wipe it up, and they put sweaters on it instead of letting the mama do the natural thing and lick it clean and stuff. And then you have sick babies, right? Leave everybody alone. We're just here to butt in when necessary. That's the way our government should be. All right. Grated potato poultices will pull out cellulitis.
Cellulitis, yeah. Potato poultices are great.
Can you ferment watermelon or other melons?
Yes, I did. You can ferment the rinds. That's actually in my book. That's an Armenian recipe. Yeah, the rinds are very good, and they're loaded in nutrition. It's funny, when I was little, and I still do, I don't like the really sweet part of the watermelon. I like it where it's closer down to the rind. And actually, there's lots of good little vitamins and stuff in there. Oh, greatest ever. Cooking food at home, walking barefoot, increasing water, reducing stress, no longer sitting for a living, smoking herb has done none wonder.
Smoking herbs? What?
Yeah, and had chronic illnesses, haven't been sick in 4 years. Okay, good for you.
There's this taboo about smoking weed and being around weed and stuff. They put that in your head for a reason. The war on drugs was a big scam, right? All it did was siphon a bunch of money to drug lords. They don't give a rip about drugs coming into this country, man. Wake up. This is a cell phone. This is 2023, and these cell phones, every single one of them that you buy has a hotspot. So here, I'll even show you how it works.
Explain the question.
Somebody
asked a question.
Somebody wanted to know how we have internet while we're off grid. So in this particular case right now, so you go to your phone here and you swipe it down. Okay, and then there's all your menus right there, and then you see mobile hotspot. See it? And then you click the mobile hotspot. It's already clicked right there. See it? Because we're using it for the computer. And then this gives you, like, our phones give 15 gigabytes per phone you can use for your hotspot, right? Now, I've been doing this setup. I made a video way back in the day, maybe 5 years ago, when these phones were just coming out. And that's how we were doing it 100%. Now we have a modem that we run off of our solar power. And that gives us our internet, but it doesn't reach all the way over here. So I'm just using the phone right now. So look at this crystal clear picture. I'm using the laptop right here off of that Wi-Fi hotspot, and I'm using the other phone right here to do the actual live show with 4,700 people and only 2,000 thumbs up. I can't even believe it. All this great information and only 2,000 thumbs up with almost 5,000 people in here.
Shame on you guys.
Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself. But the reason why we like the thumbs up, we try to explain it to you, is because, see, there's only 4,000 people in here. If you guys came in and you started pounding the thumbs up and leaving comments, YouTube starts sending the video out, and all those people were like, oh my gosh, I forgot it was Sunday night and Doug and Stacy are on, and they got their notification, and now they start watching. But if you guys don't interact with the video, YouTube goes, well, maybe we'll send it to them next time. They're sleepy right now. And then they just move us around. A lot of you guys, if you check right now, you've been unsubscribed from our channel. Check it right now. Leave a comment down below if you just checked and you were unsubscribed from our channel, because that happens a lot too.
Okay, Angie says about our store address. You go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com and then go to the shop tab.
Yeah, I'm leaving a link for you guys right here. Yeah. All you have to do is hit that link if you're on a laptop, and it'll take you into another window, and you can leave that up and kind of bounce between us and listen to us while you do your shopping. And I had to take the pre-sale books off, y'all. Shopify started spazzing on me, and the fraud department got a hold of me, and it was like this crazy thing. They held up the store money for almost 20 days, and I'm like, this has got to stop. You guys, you're being ridiculous. So I took the pre-sale off for the book, but Stacy's working on it right now, so pretty soon we'll have it back up when we're a little bit closer. So that's in case I think somebody asked. Thanks for hitting the refresh. That always helps too. We try to give you the information that we find. You know, that's all it is, man. It's just information. Some people get so upset. It's just information. That's it. That's all. What's up, Don from Michigan?
Oh, Carolyn says the ghee grew mold on the counter, lives in the fridge now. So it could have been you didn't get it got maybe some of the lactose in there that happened. So if that happens to you guys, you can just wipe off that layer. It's not going to affect the rest of it. And then you can put it in the refrigerator. So, and it does, sometimes, you know, that happens. And, you know, you can.
But it's pretty rare. Unless sometimes you have mold in your house.
No, that's not going to make a difference with the ghee.
Oh, it's not?
No, that was just because. So Carolyn, you learned something that was good. Put it in the refrigerator. It's not going to mess it up. Just wipe it off.
And you talked about the lactose intolerant people that can't have butter. Did you talk about how ghee might be a good option?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
status on the cabin building business is on hold. Logs are a problem now. I didn't see that one coming. So I'm working right now with a couple logger guys to try to get some logs going. So just give me a little bit. I have a couple other things I'm working on. You know, we're trying to get this firewood business going. We're cutting firewood, and so those logs are kind of coming in. But you have to have good logs for the log cabins. But I've already made the Missouri Log Cabin Company, so it's going to happen. I already made it a company. So I am going to do it. It's just maybe it might be not next year thing or over the winter thing or, you know, as I get logs in thing. But it's going to happen. So hang in there.
All right, Charity wants to know, where do you get your butter from to make ghee?
From the cow.
Yeah, well, I get it from, you know, raw milk from the cows around here.
Make butter.
But you can get butter from the store. You're going to get the most nutritious, nutrient-dense ghee from grass-fed butter. So if you get it from the store, like Kerrygold, Organic Valley, you know, you want a good butter. You can read, like if you look at like Land O'Lakes butter and things, they put natural flavors in there. They put a lot of other junk. You have to read your butter. You just want like cream and salt. So look at your butters. If you can only afford to get a cheaper butter, just make sure it says cream or salt. But definitely the grass-fed butter, you're going to get a lot more nutrients out of it. So that's what I would do. Or if you have a chance to have, you know, go somewhere around the Mennonites or Amish, or get on one of these herd shares where you can get raw milk, you can do that too, or they give you the cream. You can make homemade butter, or you can buy homemade butter from those places too.
Jennifer, children should see men and women with firearms. It's not some crazy, freaky thing. It's actually our constitutional right that if you don't use, you're going to lose. And children should be fully exposed to firearms and firearm safety, right? Just like they were back in the day. Everybody in the high school had the gun in the truck, in the window. You know what I mean? And I got some opinions about this whole school shooting stuff. Like, I've been drilling down on some stuff. MK Ultra, if that ever twinkled your ears before. I think I'm coming up with a little connection. But I don't know. I'm just crazy conspiracy guy. But anyways, kids should not be fearful, right? Or you should not shy or shun away a firearm. You should teach them to respect it and all the laws and rules regarding it. And they should be proficient in it.
Susan says she made meatloaf in her sun oven. First thing I cooked. Meatloafs are easy to make in the sun oven, and they always turn out good. And the good thing is, like, a lot of times if you make your meatloaf in your oven, if you left it in too long, you would burn it. But generally in the sun oven, if you left it in a little longer, it's not going to burn it. So that's good too. And then
we speak a little Armenian, Inj Besses. She does definitely speak it a little bit, and definitely can.
I understand it very well. Mm-hmm. I'm not the best speaker. I don't have that good accent, but I could get along very fine.
She's so fine.
Yeah. Oh, Linda says she's having terrible problems with grasshoppers. I'm surprised we don't have grasshoppers. Usually when it gets so dry, the grasshoppers come and they're really
If you bought the book already, then you're on the list. Don't worry about it. You're fine. I just have a list over there at Shopify, and they were freaking out because there's a lot of you guys on the list. You know what I mean? That's fine. And the ones that didn't get a chance to get on the list, don't worry. As soon as we're close,
you guys can get on the list.
I'll pop it back on. I just wanted them, off of my back. I'm just like, get off my back. And so I just threw that out there as a way to get them off my back.
All right, Marty says, do you ferment beets raw or cooked? You do not cook anything that you're going to ferment because you want to keep all the little microorganisms. And then on the beets, I do skin them. I do take the skin off.
Stacy does carry.
And I have a turquoise one.
How many years have y'all been married? What was it, 7?
20-something.
Y'all, I've been married to her half of my life. Like almost literally half of my life. We have lived off-grid longer than we've lived on-grid as a married couple. I mean, you guys are at the right channel.
So,
how do you store your bread? We don't really do a lot of bread, but how do you store it?
In a paper bag, or
in the freezer. We got a refrigerator.
Usually, what I do a lot, because of the air conditioning, I'll put a lot of stuff in the freezer, and then I'll take it out when I need it. So if I made sourdough rolls and I put them in the freezer, I'll take them out and I'll heat them up. Or if it's a hot day, I'll just set them out in the sun and they'll heat up really quick. And I just generally do it like that. But yeah, we don't do a ton of bread around here.
You should keep your sweet potatoes watered. You don't have to drown them every day or nothing, but probably every other day would be good.
No. Well,
every couple days.
Sweet potatoes just need a lot of water in the beginning.
Right.
So the first few weeks I water them very well. Once they start getting established and start looking
Really
like
viney.
Rapunzel with the long hair and they're vining everywhere, they can take a lot of drought. And actually, the best sweet potatoes, I think, is when they get watered very well in the beginning and then they get very dry. So right now, we've been having these 100-degree days. My sweet potatoes still look great. And if they start to get droopy or whatever, maybe I'll water them. And for you guys right now, like nothing is growing for, I don't have any greens hardly here because it's so dry and hot. But everyone will have greens with the sweet potato greens. You can saute those greens and use those all summer long. So when you can't grow your lettuces in these extreme heat, the sweet potato vines are definitely edible and full of nutrition.
Eat those greens. And yeah, we have a range on the property, sure. And we have archery range, and you know, we're proficient in our firearms and our bow and arrows and our slingshots and our rocks in the driveway, because we're going to hurl it all at you if we need to.
Oh, Paul's wife's making garlic honey right now as they watch us.
Update on how your beehives are doing. They're bearding right now. It's hot. I only have one hive going because I've been busy, so I didn't want to get too deep into it this year. We have one hive going. It's rock solid, doing great. Steve, I told you guys about Steve. He came from Kentucky, but he caught a swarm. And so we took a hive over to his house, and he has a swarm. He already is at his house, just moved in this summer. Already has a garden going, bling bling. Already has bees in the backyard. So, I mean, you know, no excuses, y'all. Just purchased tea in the book. Thank you. You're welcome. We appreciate all the love and support. All right, Google hates us like that kind of people we are. Yeah, people that do for themselves. Everyone hates people that do for themselves, because then that just takes away another advantage of control. You understand that? It's bred into you. You know? That's why they're trying to domesticate all the men in America, right? Putting plastics in all your food, domesticating it, soy boys. Nobody can fight in the schoolyard anymore. Everybody's got these perfectly no good manners. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it is. They're domesticating you, trying to get. If anybody speaks up about anything, there's some kind of bully or, you know, mean person or anything, right? It's all programming, you guys. They're teaching you to hate the very people that are going to save your butts when all this stuff goes down. And yeah, I said it. I started my garlic honey with Manuka honey. It seems thicker. Yeah, you shouldn't use Manuka honey.
Yeah, I would
kind of
definitely.
made that mistake. Your video, you shouldn't have talked about Manuka honey.
Yeah, just use raw honey. The Manuka honey is good to use like on scratches, or if you're going to just take it for if you have maybe bronchitis or you're not feeling well, or you're just going to put it on your toast, because it is a thicker honey. It's much more medicinal. So the garlic honey works best with just plain liquidy raw honey.
But it's not ruined or anything, but just next time you don't have to use that high dollar stuff, because Manuka honey is expensive. So we save that for like the big gashet. Oh, we don't have it ready yet.
What?
We got some more stuff coming for you guys, man. We have put together a wound healer made out of herbs, period. Right?
Stitches.
Grandma's secret blend. And when you have an open wound, you put it right on there and leave it alone, and it'll stop the blood and close the wound.
It packs, yeah.
I'm telling y'all, I've done
awesome.
it on my
We
finger.
both have, yeah.
Gary's seen it with his own eyes. Like, I've cut my finger really good with
Almost
the grinder.
off, yeah.
It wasn't almost off. No.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good cut. And I dropped that stuff on it, and within like 4 days, it was already healing, and within a week, it was almost gone. And we're coming out with that in a second here. I'm working on the labels right now. That's why we're so busy with this stuff, right? Because we want to get this stuff in your hands. And we have to blend this stuff. So it takes time to get all these wheels moving so we can get it to you. But this stuff is going to be lit. And you guys are going to get it and love it.
So Neva wants to know, can I put bentonite clay on a scratch that is taking some time to heal on my cheek? Sure, yeah, put it on there. It's got minerals in it. It'll help from scarring and all that, for sure. And if it dries or comes off, just wash your face, put a little bit more on there.
Yeah, chaga's a good tea, sure.
Oh my gosh, I love chaga. That's probably one of my favorites. It's chaga tea, chaga tinctures. Yeah, chaga's very good.
Ain't nobody around America is going to go down for no lockdowns anymore. Even if they try climate lockdowns, whatever lockdowns they're trying to produce in America, we're not falling for that no more.
In the big cities, they might
We're
have
no,
to.
they're not falling for that no more. And the big cities are being gutted if you guys are paying attention. Go look at New York, Chicago, California. They're busting in the migrants. The migrants are laying on the streets. It's all for your eyes to see, but it's not in your backyard, so you're not paying attention yet. But that's what they're doing now. They're flooding in the migrants here. They're doing it in France. They're doing it in the Dutch. Everywhere, they're doing it. By the bus loads, by the boat loads. Right now, they're attacking everyone's sovereignty all at the same time. All you got to do is just, pay attention a little bit and you can see it. My honey garlic farming is 3 weeks old, but you don't need to burp it anymore, probably. Your honey garlic.
Yeah, you can probably let it go and put it someplace cool.
Yeah.
And it should be okay. And then if you're down there a month or so and you want to turn it a little bit and see, it should be fine.
You can turn it and burp it just to say hello. Chemtrails keep changing our weather, right? And I could take you out there right now. There must not be one single commercial airline in the sky right now for the people that don't believe it. Because there's not one single line in the sky all day yesterday, all day today. Not one single line in the sky. So I guess there's been 0 planes. Not one plane has flown anywhere in my eyesight in the last, 48 hours. Would the end of Soleil be good for tomato plants?
I put a little water in there.
Yes, yeah. Unsubscribed. I told you, Doris. I told you. That's how they do me over here. Doug, did you ever get into fishing? We have a pond right there. I've got bass in there.
Out. It's really getting scary.
It's low, but I got bass in there and bluegills,
catfish.
Yeah, we are fully ready for whatever. We grow our own food. We got all these babies hatching. We got apples busted on the trees, blackberries coming on the vines, food in the boxes, ferments on stash, ferments being fermented. You know what I'm saying? We live off rainwater. It gets a little tricky, but we manage and it works.
The one thing I will say...
We poop in buckets.
The rain, we're not getting a lot of rain, but like if you get a little rain, that's going to fill up like the stuff for us.
That 1 inch gave us enough for keeping the animals going now.
Yeah.
And, barely gave us enough for the horses.
Well, no, it filled up. We're good. That rain, the horses, the first lunch is filled up. It filled up the sheep thing. We got some water in the garden.
It doesn't really help our water, but it helps managing the animals in the garden. Bentonite clay is perfect for poison ivy. Can you use metal lids on fermenting? Sure. How often do you give your dogs garlic for fleas?
I give Molly garlic.
Depending on their size.
Well, I give it to her every day. I'll do it for like 6 weeks or something, and then I'll give her a couple weeks off, and then I'll start again. And it's crazy, and it takes a little bit to get into their system, like when you start doing it, like early spring. They just don't want to bite them. Like I'll always give her a tick check at night, and then you'll maybe see some fleas on her, or even fleas that are just down by her skin, but they won't like go and touch her because they don't want to bite her. So it's crazy.
What do you think about the Johnson's wort?
What?
Johnson's wort.
Let me see. St. John's wort.
St. John's wort, yeah.
Yeah.
Screwy. It's all natural. Natural stuff's where it's at, y'all. That's why they hide you from it. That's why they got you on this big pharma trip, man. They are messing up the whole world with these fake drugs that they're pushing.
So Patricia's 7 months,
if you're on
no
any
sugar.
drugs, make sure you're trying your best to get off these big pharma drugs. It's going to be hard, man, but they got you guys hooked.
Yeah, and the thing is a lot of the drugs that people are taking are causing other issues.
It's disgusting.
So if you could find a integrative physician or a naturopath to help you get off some of these things, I would definitely be on the lookout for that. You guys, there's other ways of getting well.
They're gonna have
Your body wants to heal itself. You are not meant to be sick all the time. Your body wants to heal itself. So definitely just maybe look into other people. The cool thing about the internet, I will say, a lot of these integrative and these naturopaths and a lot of these more natural type doctors, you can find online, and they do things over Skype or Zoom or however you want to talk about it like that. And then you just pay for them, and they'll see you, and you can do it that way and get the type of healthcare, or find a healthcare practitioner that you really vibe with. A lot of people go to a doctor and you don't even like your doctor, and they spend 5 minutes with you. A lot of these practitioners will give you an hour or so. You know, and maybe someone, it might cost you $250, $300, or $500. They may spend 90 minutes with you or something, but they're going to really find out about you and let you know everything going on and look at what you're spending when you're going through the conventional healthcare. So there's other options out there. Don't think there aren't other options out there. You guys can.
Y'all, your doctor just looked at you in the face and told you to get that vaccine. I mean, lost all credibility, y'all. If your doctor has got you on pills, they are not credible. No pills are going to cure your ills, man. Food and everything is going to do that. But so what happens is you deny yourself the good food and you deny yourself the water and stay hydrated. And then you chronically build up the sickness. And then you go to the doctor and they say, take this pill, and you take it. Then you come back because of the side effect. And then they say, well, take this pill. I said, what was it on the radio the other day? Like most Americans are on like 3 or to 7 big pharma pills.
At least 4 to 10.
What are you guys doing, yo? We don't even take aspirins up in here. You guys can do it. But see, they're putting on TV. They got you going, you know, and I'm using general speak here, but they got you going to the doctor and asking for drugs. Like you're supposed to go to the doctor and be like, how am I doing, doc? And they're like, well, we looked you over and maybe you could take this medicine for a short time and blah, blah, blah. But you're like going there to, yeah, I saw AstraZeneca on the TV, doc, and it's supposed to help with my AC1. Oh yeah, here you go.
Well, you know, United States and New Zealand are the only 2 countries that can allow pharmaceutical commercials on television.
Disgusting.
So, I mean, and since then, what was it, 1996? Something like that is when they just started. So before then, people were not taking. So now the amount of drugs being taken are like way up there. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're trying to tell your kid who's in the prime of their life of running, jumping, having fun, talking, running, having all the energy, to sit down and shut up. And then they don't like that. And then when they act up a little bit, the teachers put them on the Ritalin and tell the parents, yeah, you got some hyperactive kid here. I mean, this whole thing, y'all, is a mess. And it was all designed on purpose to be this way. And we have to break it. We have to take our own stuff into our own hands. Don't worry about the system now. Homeschool your kids. Drill down on your family. Build some community. Move out to a rural area if you can. Build community there. Every day you should be moving towards this lifestyle, because this literally could save your life. This lifestyle right here. Sweating, growing food. You don't even have to live off grid, but just working with your hands, being in the garden, having sun on your skin, drinking lots of water without fluoride in it. Y'all are killing you guys with the fluoride. They got your brain all not connecting properly. They are doing this stuff to us on purpose. Don't you guys get it, man? This is all for real, what I tell you. These chemtrails, all this stuff is legit. There's no more conspiracy theories. All that stuff, we're all conspiracy rightists. We've told you, and it's all come true. Everything. Fauci, fake Fauci. They've rolled out the puppet heroes in front of you. Biden, you know, just like Russia, they bring out the old familiar face, and all the puppet masters are moving him around. That's why he falls down when he walks. Man, come on, y'all. We can do it. They don't have us that zombied yet. We got to snap out of it.
Judy wants to know name of the kitchen propane fridge. It's called Unique.
Good job, buddy.
Unique propane outdoor refrigerator. I really like it. So if anybody wants a little outdoor refrigerator, it's propane. It's very cute. And it works well. Guineas are loud. Listen to them.
Yeah, gain of function. They're liars, man. They lie right to your face. He stood there on TV every day lying right to your face. And then some people want to know why. Well, why would Disney and all them release The Sound of Freedom? Oh, my God, man. Come on, y'all. Seriously, man. There's nothing new under the sun. It's time to stop being bamboozled. And when you get off the fluoride and you get out of the system, you start seeing things clear. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it to you. You can just see it for the lie that it is. That McCarthy guy is a liar. Lip service, lies in Congress all the time. It's a one-party system, y'all. They whittled it down on purpose on you. And that's all to keep us divide and conquer. So the two-party system's made to keep us at each other. The vax, the no vax. You know, all this stuff, right? Instead of us being Americans and bonding together.
Okay, Connie wants to know if you can use frozen blueberries. You cannot use frozen fruits or vegetables to do fermented because it'll break down the cellular structure and it won't work. So do not use anything frozen to ferment. It will not work. It'll be a mushy mess.
Chocolate tea is the best, in my opinion, to drink it when it's hot. After it's steeped and it's cooling off a little bit with the maple syrup.
If anyone can make it cold, you need to contact us because I've tried to do it and it...
Did you?
Yes, I tried it because I thought it would be very good. Because, you know, like people like iced coffee and I haven't gotten it right. So if anybody can do it, it probably would be good if you made chocolate, you know, when you brew your coffee and you put the chocolate in it. That would probably work out okay. But I don't drink coffee, so I don't know. If you can do it, let us know.
And y'all, they're starting up again with the censoring stuff. Okay?
Yeah, they are.
They've knocked me off Twitter twice. I just got my secondary account reinstated, so that's a lie. Elon Musk and their free speech stuff over there is nonsense. YouTube has now started to erase some channels. Dr. McCullough was chased out of his bank.
And all of his family
chased out of his bank. They canceled all of his bank accounts at Chase Bank, all of his family members' banks. He's been banking there 18 years, one of his accounts, as long as 18 years.
Dr. Mercola.
So we have to be prepared for whatever they throw at us. You know what I'm saying? Like if you guys are not on our email list, please get on our email list. This is going to be the way that we're going to connect with you guys if something happens to us on social media platform. Is we're going to be connecting with you guys on the email list. And if you go to Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, you can get on the email list. It's totally free. And I don't even really hardly ever use it. I do sometimes ask anybody. So I don't spam you and I don't try to scam you and sell you stuff all the time, you know, like some of the email people. It's just a way for us to communicate and I let you know what's going on. And, you know, if our books hit or something, I'll let you know there. But if you get on that list, that's going to be our next way to do it. And Stacy and I were talking. Even like with Shopify, like look how they just did that for 20 days. They froze my stuff. I mean, we're at the whim of these people. Whatever they want to do, we're just at their whim. So I was thinking, man, maybe we should go to like old school Amish stuff and just do everything by checking through the mail. It's just that crazy. So we just have to stay vigilant, do the best we can, but build up all your secondary, you know, sources and ways to do things and just be ready for whatever comes, right? 1 is none. 2 is 1, and 3 is done.
Anchio says, what advice to help with male prostate health? You know what? I'm going to tell you. Pumpkin seeds are great for prostate. I really like to sprout pumpkin seeds. Like when your pumpkins are growing, get your pumpkins, go ahead and let them dry out. And then I would soak them so they kind of sprout a little bit, then dry them out. And then you guys can have, and then go ahead and you can heat them up a little bit on low heat, and then you'll kind of roast them, and you can have sprouted pumpkin seeds. And pumpkin seeds are amazing for prostate health. You can also get sprouted pumpkin seeds if you don't want to go through all that trouble. Costco does have sprouted pumpkin seeds in a big bag for like $9.99, I think. And they're amazing. They taste wonderful. They're great for snacks. If you want to make, you know, trail mixes and stuff, they're wonderful. I like to put them in salads, but they're great. Loaded in vitamin A. They're just really good, very good.
Missouri's open carry, right? Constitutional open carry. And if you're going to be, you know, messing with firearms, you should know every state's law. You shouldn't have to ask Uncle Doug. Oh, how do you keep cool off grid? I missed it. Well, you know.
Well, we talk about it. Let's talk about everything.
One of the main things is getting up early, right? A lot of people like to sit around on their duff. You get up and get out, right? That's the main thing. You rest in the afternoon when it's the hottest, and then you come back out at night and you get your chores done, and then you work into the night. She works with the headlamp in the garden and all that stuff when it's the coolest. You stay hydrated, right? Lots of water. On normal, I'll drink 1 gallon of Soleil water for the day. On this day, I might drink 2 gallons. It just depends. So stay hydrated. Put a little rag around your neck. You know, that's a wet rag. Somebody asked if we use the swamp cooler. Swamp coolers don't work when it's humid. If you live in a humid area, you can't spray water into the atmosphere and make you cooler. It just makes you more humid. So it doesn't work here.
So the big thing is you need, you know, be in the shade, park your car in the shade. Like I'll move the truck, like if it's one place and the sun's right on it, I'll make sure that I put it underneath the tree. Of course, first thing in the morning when we get up, I'll shut all the blinds and you shut all the doors. As long as it can go 3, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then I'll open everything up at the end when the sun starts going down and kind of cool everything down. That's generally how you do it. It was so funny. I was visiting yesterday at the Amish, and I went over to their house, and the house was very hot, but see, I'm used to it. And they were kind of laughing, saying that they had friends come visit the day before, and they were kind of wondering because we've been having this 100-degree weather, and then they were worried about not having any air conditioning. Well, these guys had just gotten this new fan. It's a new oscillating fan, and it ran off of an old Milwaukee battery that was all rigged up on it. And so they put the fan by the people that came to visit, and so they got to stay, and they had, supper with them. So it was kind of funny. But he was saying how a lot of people, the English people, some of them are pretty wimpy, because they're not used to having.
Oh, no, they took bets on us. They thought we would never make it. They literally were over there betting on us, and they thought we were going to hightail out of here after a minute. And I told them, not us. I told them.
But yeah, the big thing is you can't be out in the middle in the heat. I mean, you really have to lay low. Really watch your animals and do what the animals do. The animals are up in the morning. Like when we get up, our sheep are out in the woods. They're all over the place doing their things in the morning. The chickens are out running around. Then in the heat of the day, everyone is laying down in the bushes, in the shade, relaxing. And as the sun starts going down, everybody comes out again. And that's basically how we have to do it too. You have your little siesta, I guess, in the afternoon. So if we have any work to do, that's when we do it in the afternoon in these hot days. Or if you need to go for a drive somewhere, you can do that, or go swimming in the pond if you need to. Or if you just need to go and take a cold shower, go ahead and do that. I mean, I always take a cold rinse off at night before I go to bed. I think it's so important, and it'll really cool you off.
Help you out. And Catherine's being funny. She's drinks the Kool-Aid. You drink the Kool-Aid, Catherine? She says, if it was constitutional, Carrie, you'd be using a black powder rifle. Yeah. That's not even true because it doesn't specify that. It says firearms, weapons, guns, right? My right to bear arms. And if you do actually look into history, they were already transitioning out of black powder guns. Gatling guns were already showing up on the scene. A lot of guns were kind of coming along in line there. So that whole thing, just like it's supposed to be just for hunting or just for this, no. All that stuff's just Kool-Aid sold to you so you lay down your weapons. Okay?
So Marsha says the number one issue about living off-grid for her is a hard time with the heat. Well, then find some place that doesn't have such high humidity or high heat. You could do that and move someplace else.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Everything has its pros and cons.
Go to Hawaii.
No, I would never live off-grid in Hawaii. Hawaii is almost 100% reliable on the outside world to get food and supplies. So I would not do anything in Hawaii. We actually thought about it. We were looking into it. We went there. We visited some homestead homies there.
Yeah, Kathy says, how are the elderberries we planted? I planted them around our chicken coop.
Awesome.
There's so many. I got like trillions of elderberries. They multiplied and been great. And they can take the heat like you can't imagine. And this year, when we had all that drought until we just had that rain, they looked really bad and shriveled up. And I was really worried. The berries looked kind of bad and all that. The rain really perked them up. But they really were kind of struggling a little bit because they weren't getting any moisture. So, but no, the elderberries are looking good. And then the chickens are jumping up, having a good time with them too.
And we were drinking the rainwater with just a couple of threaded filters and a charcoal filter. Then this geoengineering stuff really started to ramp up, y'all. We noticed it like over the last 5 years, it has really ramped up. And so we brought the Berkey out of hibernation. It was actually a gift to us from way back in the OG Homestead Homie days. Somebody actually got us the Berkey as a gift back when we were just starting our channel and stuff. And so we had it in a box. We weren't even using it. And so I pulled it out of the box. I even did a video about it, how living off grid, you could, kill you with the water. And I showed you guys how to put it together and the benefits of it and everything. So, but that's how that all went down. For UT 100. Any plans to sell elderberry cuttings? Yeah, I think this year we're going to cut up some elderberry cuttings for you guys while supplies last. So look for those later on. You go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com and then get on the email list there. There should be a box somewhere for you to get on the email list. Let me see. Home. Yeah, ready to leave the hustle and bustle, learn more. You click that, and then there's on the About Us page, it'll take you to the Grow With Us here, and then it'll have the name and email address, and you can get in there. be part of our setup.
Horeb Hills Homestead, how to stop craving sweets. So it's an addiction. I mean, basically sugar is a drug. So you just, maybe start using, dried fruit if you want a sweet treat, like medjool dates or some apricots or some figs, something like that to kind of help the sweet tooth. Or you could even get some, if you did it yourself, you could even get some good dark chocolate made well. I like the Enjoy Life brand because it doesn't have soy lecithin or anything in it. If you even get some of that dried fruit and dunk them in the chocolate, just kind of wean yourself off. So start with the chocolate and then maybe wean yourself off the chocolate. And as you do it, you'll get that dye off. You might feel a little tired or sluggish. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, you're eating good foods and all that, and then you can do it. I mean, it's just basically a drug and your body is craving it and wanting it and you're feeding it. Let's say you have yeast or candida or, things going on in your body. If you don't feed it, it's going to die. So just take good care of yourself and you can do it.
So, yeah, you can do it.
You can do it.
Man, I forgot what somebody asked a question.
They are so loud. Can you guys hear those guineas, my babies?
I don't know anybody who got some land for whatever, government land. I don't know anybody who did that. I don't even hardly remember talking about it. Stacy made a no-bake bar. If you put in no-bake off-grid, you can get her little recipe for that. It's an energy ball thing that she makes. It's awesome.
Oh, I like that. The energy balls are wonderful. You can use almond butter. You can use peanut butter. The big thing with peanut butter, they have like aflatoxin, which is like a fungus. One thing for you guys, if you do get peanut butter, make sure that you get organic peanut butter. And the best peanut butter to get that's the lowest in the aflatoxins is the Valencia. And I think it tastes the best. So if you get Valencia peanut butter, that's the best peanut butter to get. And then you can do the balls. You can put a lot of chia seeds in there. You can go ahead and put cacao nibs. You can put medjool dates in there. You can really make them good. Put a little raw honey or maple syrup in them. Wad them up a little bit and then put them in the refrigerator in like a container. And then the kids can come or what are you doing?
We're getting dark in here.
Oh. And then they're a great little treat if you want a little sweet treat. So you could also do that too.
Did you guys thumbs up? Does everybody thumbs up? We're going to say goodbye in a minute. We want to make sure everybody thumbs up. Thumbs up. We got my thumb up. Elderberries are excellent for chickens. That's why we planted the elderberries around the chicken coop, is because it fights coccidosis. And it's actually healthy for them, just like it's healthy for us. Did you grow stevia this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it out in the garden. A lot of people are getting storms now.
What time is it there? It is 8:21, y'all. My battery's about to die. It's the same old story every week, isn't it? My battery's about to die. My dogs run away from home. My woman's out.
Where's Molly?
Where's Molly?
She's not here. She's
Bring her in
outside.
here. All right. How do you make your chicken? We do meat birds. We do not do the Cornish cross hens that much anymore. We like the Freedom Rangers, and the Mennonites sell those, and that's why we like them too.
Yeah, it's called Freedom Ranger Hatchery.
Yeah.
It's in Pennsylvania.
They sell guineas too. They're
nice family.
They're Mennonites.
Yes, very good. I like the Freedom Ranger. They're a more natural bird, and they're not crazy. They don't come back at you like linebackers, and they just I don't like them at all.
Talk about the biolab. Which one? I mean, there's like a bunch of them. That's what Putin is actually doing, is closing down biolabs in the Ukraine. Man, if you guys all you have to be is like halfway paying attention. Hunter Biden and his buddy were in with Burisma. Burisma is in Ukraine. That's totally corrupt. We took out the Ukraine president and we installed Zelensky. I don't think many people even like him over there. Go on and on it goes. Those guys are corrupt over there. That Ukraine is a hotbed for corruption. They call it the breadbasket of Europe also. So control the food, control the people. I mean, you don't even have to be a rocket scientist anymore. They put all this stuff out there, and it's just crazy, and no one's doing nothing. All the information's coming out about the jab. They literally killed Americans, and all the information's coming out. People are going to be dying every day now, died suddenly. Myocarditis, flopping dead of heart failure, left and right. They say after 2 years after that jab, everything they put it in died. So, I mean, I'm just telling you what they say. I don't make the news, I just report it. So you're going to see more and more cases of this. I mean, Everybody knows about Hunter Biden, the corrupt stuff with the Bidens. The Bidens got money in millions and millions. No one cares. We saw the fake impeachment of President Donald Trump for years, and we can't even see a real one. I mean, all this stuff is clown world stuff. Clown world stuff. We have the lady, I have her on video twice now, saying that we are funding the largest child trafficking place in the whole world, taxpayer-funded child trafficking. The foster care program and all this other stuff, the immigrants coming over is ripe with this trafficking and stuff. And everyone's focused in on Ballard and 5 people over there. He comes from the CIA, right? Homeland Security, right? And this is all the talk right now while it's right underneath your nose. It stinks so bad right here. And they always have you looking over there. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all.
So Janet wants to know what's good for skin cancer. Janet, look into eggplant extract. It's a cream. You can look online and you can buy it. So just look into it. Do your research on eggplant extract for skin cancer. And then Brown Eyes, they've been watching for months in East Tennessee. They're seniors and it's hard to do everything. What needs to be done? Water is a need. What would you say?
Say it again. I'm just reading the comments.
I've been watching you guys for months from East Tennessee.
Yep.
We are seniors and it is hard to do everything. What needs to be done? Water is a need.
Okay.
So what's hard, and it's hard to do
I don't
everything?
get it.
I mean, everything that you do?
I don't
so
get
I
it.
guess
I've been watching you guys for months from East Tennessee. We're seniors, and it's hard to do everything that needs to be done. And water is a need. We don't understand your question.
So write it again so we understand. What's the question?
It's hard to do everything, so only do what you can.
Right.
Sometimes you bite off more than you can actually chew. So scale back what you're trying to do, right? And if your garden is causing you problems because you have to water it, look into some irrigation. Probably you're not living off grid like us, so you could probably set up some slow drip irrigation. It can save you a ton of time and effort. Us, we like to do it hard. If it's hard, do it hard. If it's easy, do it easy. So you can just kind of figure out little systems that can help you out, especially with watering.
So now, Colleen, here's a good question for the heat. She's lost 6 Ranger chickens due to the heat. I don't think they are suited for Texas heat. Have you experienced with chickens and heat? Yeah, the thing is they need electrolytes like we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're doing the Soleil and all that. So I like to do blackstrap molasses. I'll put it in their water. And that definitely helped get the minerals up and just on these hot days, just to kind of help with that. So that's what I do. And then just make sure they have, you know, good ventilation and they have shade to go into if you let them out of the coop. That's really, really important.
You could use a dehumidifier to produce water. Yeah. I mean, I know they do that. They snatch moisture out of the air and stuff, you know. I wouldn't use like condensation from like an air conditioner or something. Nothing like that. And also, if you guys get the sun oven, the All-American sun oven, you can purify water and, you know, that helps you out too. Plus the Berkey's awesome. You can just put it in. I have to put the laptop over here so you get some sunlight too.
There we go. Oh, people are asking how much molasses. So, you know, I'm a bad measure. So I'll put like a little shot in there. You can put a tablespoon or 2, depending. If you had a little bowl, maybe a tablespoon, a little bit bigger, you put a couple tablespoons in there.
I wouldn't use baking soda for toothpaste. I'd use the bentonite clay setup that Stacy showed you what to do.
Well, you're going to use baking soda. The one thing with baking soda by itself, it's very abrasive. So most people find that it's a little too abrasive on their teeth. Some people do use it and it does clean your teeth very well. That's why when you use the bentonite clay along with the baking soda, because my recipe is 2 parts bentonite clay to 1 part baking soda, I think it's a lot better. It's not so abrasive on the teeth.
Sun oven does it have shipping fees? I don't know, but we give you a discount, so it probably washes out the shipping fees. And if you had to pay to ship it, who cares, man? It's worth every penny. I mean, seriously, like out of the things that we recommend, that right there that's a 5-star, 100%er. Get yourself a sun oven. They have layaway over there. Okay, get yourself a sun oven. Click our link at Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. Get on the payment program if you have to, but get yourself a sun oven and then use it. A lot of people get it and they leave it in the box. We got 4,700 thumbs up, 5,600 people in the live show this evening. We've been here for 79 minutes.
Ooh, man.
Giving you all kinds of information and nuggets, personal opinions, and commentary.
So Donna says, one of her ferments in the fridge has developed mold. Can I take it off? So yeah, that's why when you look at your stuff and it has a little bit of thing on there, you need to look at it. A lot of times the mold will just pull right off in one hunk. Just wipe it off really good. Maybe take off the top scoop part of it that looks kind of icky, and then smell it, see how it smells. And if it smells okay, maybe give it a taste. Hopefully, because if you leave that on there too long, it could affect the flavor. So you got to babysit sometimes.
If you got here late and you need your dose of Doug, Bart, you better back up and watch this movie from the beginning.
So Katrina wants to know, how do you get Molly to eat the garlic? I put it in her food.
Yeah.
So in the morning, she'll have like, I gave her, she's got blueberries, whatever's in season, she eats it too with her stuff. So there's like some shredded carrots in there. I put the garlic in there. I had some bone broth in there. You just kind of mix it all up. You have your meat and, whatever I'm giving her for the day, or if she had sardines, whatever she's eating. And then I just mix it all up and she eats it.
Yeah, if you want to have a continuous thing of garlic honey, just keep adding garlic in there and just keep on going. And then if you need to add a little honey later, you can do that too. So that's fine. Y'all should have like 3 or 4 of those going, I'm telling you. If you make one, you're going to use it, and then it takes like 4 to 6 months to get the real good stuff going again. So you want to make a bunch of them and then let those other ones set long time while you're using the one, and then you're making another one, and then you have, you know what I mean? And then you're going to have a family member that needs some, or your kid's going to need some. So
here, someone was talking about the heat. They said, wings high, aviation, I'd be naked. In the heat, honestly, you have to really look at your clothes. You need to wear like
cotton.
Yeah, cotton and linen, very loose. When you look at the people in the desert, that have, they put the stuff on their head and they're wearing the white. That's all like cotton and linen, just very thin. Those materials are very, they really do make a big, huge difference. Loose, baggy pants, baggy skirts. For me, very loose, breathable cotton makes a huge difference.
Ginny Talbot, thank you for the comment. It says, Doug, I owe you an apology. I thought you were going crazy talking about the corruption in the world, but I read Professor Richard Werner and you are spot on. Y'all, I am not, I don't have any, there's no benefit here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are mad that I'm talking about this stuff. So really, there's no benefit here. I'm just trying to help you guys out because that's why we live off grid too. It's not just, for rainbows and unicorns. I mean, we live off grid because we want to take care of ourselves. We don't want government intrusion. No one's going to take care of us better than us. No doctor, no hospital place, nobody we co-opt out to. We learned this lesson already and we've changed it for the second half of our life. Now we're trying to bring the kids home, right? Because they're all separated. We're bringing them home and we're all going to live together and we're going to grow food and be happy and live healthy and help one another and get back to this thing like we're supposed to be doing instead of all this outside stuff. That's all. I mean, I'm just trying to sound the alarms here. We're running out of time. All these old people, y'all, think logically. Pelosi, Schumer. I mean, I could just name them all that have been in Congress for all this time. They have all been working on the plan. And they're all getting old and senile. They want to see the plan. Don't you get it? That's why everything got sped up. And the internet's causing them problems because so much information is being able to be shared. That's why they've been telling you right now, actively telling you, they have all the proof. They were literally suppressing information about COVID to make you take the jab so you would die. Those are the cold facts. And they were working with Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all social media platforms. And they were telling them, don't tell them that. Suppress anybody that talks out against us. They ran off all the holistic doctors, Dr. Tenpenny, Dr. Bouchard, all these people that were warning you and trying to help you out. And they got moved on down the road. Okay? All this stuff's coming out and still nobody cares. So I'm using my voice and I'm going to try to give you as much truth as I can until I get a problem over here. So keep us in prayer. But we genuinely care about you guys. And this stuff is serious. This stuff is not, it's not a joke. We're not watching, what's his name? What was it? It's not a movie,
Dr.
man.
Evil?
Yeah, I mean, this is legit. And they want to implant stuff in your brain and they're going after your kids. They're programming your kids now. I'm watching videos, y'all. Please stop letting your kids use these phones and these tablets. I'm watching videos where kids are laying in the bed sleeping and their hands are like moving like they're swiping the phone, and they're moving like they're tapping on the phone, and they're like 2 years old. What are we doing? All right, I'm done.
Okay, now I want to talk about one more thing here. Donna was asking about lymphatic detox. I'm going to tell you, I like the health stuff, and you don't have to spend a thing. And this is probably one of the most important things you guys could do. And it's so cheap and it's so easy, and it could really save you. Because when you look at your body, you got your blood flowing through your body. The other thing that flows through your body is your lymphatic system, which is sort of like the garbage man. So it's like your sewage system. So how many of you guys want to be hanging out in your backed up sewage? No one flushed the toilet in you. For how would you like to be like that? So it's very, very important. I've been following a guy. I just love him to death. He's just amazing. His name's Perry Nicholson. He's on Instagram. It's called Stop Chasing Pain. If you go there, say Off Grid with Doug and Stacy sent you.
You'll never hear this solid information from your doctor ever.
And he's a chiropractor, but he doesn't call himself a chiropractor because he really is into, healing. Everyone is different. And he had a lot of problems going on. He had a rare autoimmune disease, and no one was helping him. And so, like, he was on death's door, and he researched himself, just like I did however many years, 16, 17 years ago, to heal myself.
Yes.
So basically, the lymphatic system, a lot of us are having pain, we're having disease, we're having all this kind of stuff because you have over like 500-600 lymph nodes throughout your body.
Yes.
So you got them mostly in through here, you got them on your collarbone, your neck, you have them underneath your arm, you have them in your belly, you have them in your groin and behind your knees. So if one area is clogged up, things aren't going to be flowing. So if you're not flowing, I don't like that.
I got to it has to be done.
Turn it a little bit.
I can't, it has to be done.
It feels like the police are after
you. Are. Where were you last night?
No, turn it a little bit.
I'm trying.
Yeah, that's better.
All right, I'll take the heat.
So you want to make sure that you make your pathways clear. So a few live shows ago, I did he calls it the Big Six. And they're just there's 6 areas. The 6 areas that you give yourself, it's just, massaging these areas, because all you're doing is breaking up that lymph so that you're able to flow. So basically, if you don't do these things and like moving, I like the rebounder and I do that, but then I've been really incorporating this a lot, and I've noticed a huge change, and I already feel really good. And it's amazing all the different things. And then he also talks about the vagus nerve, which is like the big nerve. It controls digestion, relaxation, all these things. He gives you simple, easy techniques anybody can do to yourself, anything that'll help open up your pathways. People think that it's all foo-foo and that you need to have this magic pill. I mean, how hard is it to sit there? You could watch TV, and you could be doing some of these techniques.
You're inflamed because you're not moving, right? Everyone's sitting around at their desk, then they go home and sit around, then they watch TV, then they sit in their car, then they go to the store, they walk 25 steps, they walk back to their car. You guys get that? We're hunters and gatherers. The Father made us to move and hunt and gather, right? We're supposed to be moving. And when you're doing that, all your lymphatic stuff is juicing up, man.
Well, everything is getting clogged up.
It makes so much sense.
So we don't want to be sitting in our sewage. We want to be moving, and you guys can manually do these simple things, the Big Six, and then some of these other things. If you follow him on Instagram, just say that we send him, because he really explains things really well. He's a lot of you guys that think some of this is foofy, you'll like him. He explains things very, very well. And start doing some of these simple things. I mean, honestly, when you're sitting there watching TV, you could do this.
You could be rubbing your lymphatic stuff. Like there's like a little, maybe we'll do a video about it, but we'll show you like how you have a process of all the areas you hit.
You need to go in the right order, because it's just the way, the body is, that you need to go in a certain order. But, and I did do it one time.
We did, man, we tried to help you guys. We talked about brushing. We talked about eating food. We talking about brushing your teeth on the bentonite clay is the awesome stuff. Remineralizes your mouth and everything. I mean, we try to give you all these tips all the time, y'all.
So it's Stop Chasing Pain.
Yeah.
Perry Nicholson.
That's awesome.
Perry Nicholson. Yeah. So definitely look into that. Your lymphatic system is huge. It's and here's another thing, okay? You know how we talk about doctors, the conventional doctors hardly get any hours of education about nutrition.
Right.
It's the same thing really for the lymphatic system. When you hear a lot of them talk, they don't get a lot of information about that. And the lymphatic system is where it's at. If that's not functioning properly, you only hear about, oh, your lymph nodes, have cancer and blah, blah, blah. That's when you hear about it. But really, if your lymph nodes are clogged up, that's why a lot of people are getting cancer, because if you're clogged up, because your lymph node is supposed to go to an area that has a problem and they're going to kind of get rid of it. So you want to make sure everything's flowing properly. A car needs proper oil and water and all that to work properly. We're just like a machine.
Mountain Dew and Doritos and all this MSG and processed food is not good food for you. Okay?
Yeah.
Period. That's the whole trick, y'all. They are making you sick through the food. It's just like a constant loop of you being a sucker. And that we found out the hard way too, right? So don't take it personal. And then that's what's happening now. And you're on this constant loop. You have to break free yourself. No one is going to help you break free except maybe us. But you're going to have to do it yourself ultimately. All right. Here we go. We're out of this thing. Oh, if you guys want to know I got a little booklet that I wrote. It's a nice little easy read. It's only $15 whole. It cost me almost that much just to have it printed and stapled and bound and everything. But it's a off-grid booklet. It gives you the first 7 steps to kind of kickstart you, give you some ideas. I kind of go over some of our story. You can get that at offgridwithdouganstacy.com. It's already in stock and everything's good. We're working on our other books. They'll be out soon. And we're going to wrap it up. We got interrogation lights on our face now, and the sun's going down. And
it did go down. My guineas got quiet.
Everyone got quiet. And we have to shut the chicken coops and button everybody up. Yeah, okay. See, Robert got the book, and he says it was great. Oh, and somebody said it leaked out of a lab. If you believe that COVID-19 was leaked out of a lab, put your head back in the sand. Just like the movie Sound of Freedom, it's released on purpose. Okay? There's no leaks happening here. It's released on purpose. Okay? Anybody watch the Sunday show today on CBS? They were talking about they're studying mosquitoes, right? Because mosquitoes spread malaria. And simultaneously, Bill Gates is in Florida releasing mosquitoes. All right, y'all. Woo! We do care about you. And remember, the most capable hand is at the end of your wrist.
Yep, that's true. And you guys need to work on that lymphatic massage. You guys can really just start doing these little things.
Yeah.
We talk about grounding. We talk about, making sure you're adding your minerals to the water. We do the Redmond and then you're getting out, getting active, eating real food, not processed, cutting back your sugars. All these little bitty things can totally start changing your health and how you feel.
Dang, y'all, all the stories. Did you ever go back in history and look at all the soldiers sitting on piles of buffalo just to sit on top of them because they killed them just so the Indians wouldn't have nothing to eat? Who do you guys think you're dealing with? Man, oh man, the Rockefellers. Just a 3-second look at that family and their history would make you boggled, and they're controlling everything. You know what I'm telling you? There's a handful of people always choking us. And right now they're really going in for it with this techno stuff. 9/11, y'all. I'm going to let you out of here with the last conspiracy thing, right? The Patriot Act was already on the shelf. I've already got the evidence. They already had the Patriot Act written. The Patriot Act was already written and on standby. 9/11 was the inside job, and then they rolled out the Patriot Act because fear is what's going to get you. Just like COVID-19, just like that, right? Where's all the suicide bombers? Leave a comment. Who's heard of a suicide bomber? Leave a comment. Ever since the Bushes left, where are they at? Look, it's a great big club and we ain't in it. But what we got to do is we got to operate, right? We got to make sure that they know that we know. So at least we can operate and have a functional life. Because if we keep staying sleepy, you won't even be able to grow food in your backyard, yo. You hear? You won't even have a backyard because you will own nothing and be happy. I know you don't like to hear this stuff, but I have to give it to you. Okay. That's it. We're out of here. I mean, 1 hour, 93 minutes. 93 minutes. Anything you want to say on the way out?
Well, I'm glad you guys are here. And then next
That's
Sunday,
important.
next week, you know, we will be at our conference, but
Yeah.
you'll
I'm gonna try to do a live
we'll
show.
do it on the riverboat. You
See
can
you
go
next
down to
Sunday, 7
Mississippi
o'clock.
with us.
Yeah.
So we'll love it, and then we can talk to some other people, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'm happy you guys came, and we really appreciate you guys.
The
so
only
much.
way I'm going to be doing CB, central bank digital currency, is if they strangle me and make me take it. And then I'm going to be operating 90-something% black market. And then the rest, I'll play their little fiddle games just to operate somewhat. Okay? But we got to stand against that. They've been trying to roll that in Africa now for a while. And they keep telling them, no, thank you. And they keep turning the screws on them and trying to make them take it. So you guys have to be aware of that too. Tell everybody you know, cash is king. Okay? All right. See you guys on the next video.
We'll see ya.
It's kind of crazy. This is our latest show
Yeah,
ever.
woo.
And plus,
Well,
the
no,
days are getting shorter.
That's why.
We know what's up. We live off grid.
It's so dark.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Bye.